But anyway,
that was cool. Very cool.
Very cool.
And then she, not only does she have like snake tattoos that come to life, but she can also shed her skin.
Yeah.
Which was like, at first I was like, where the fuck did this bitch go? And then they're like, oh, a cast off skin. I was like, oh, cool. Because snake. Yeah. Got it. Right?
Yes, Jordy.
Yes.
Yeah. I get
That's
it,
dude.
You need scenes like that to like spell it out for you.
Yeah. A little
You got
bit,
it, bro.
You know what I mean? Ninja scroll.
Ninja scroll.
Scroll.
Take 2.
Take 2.
I think if you say pop when you do that, it ruins it.
Fuck you.
I'm just saying. The point of it is
Pop.
silence, crack, silence. Right?
Well, you know what? It's our fucking show.
Okay.
It's
All
our
right.
show.
You're the one who has to edit it.
Yeah.
And we're
I'll
live
deal with it
in
fucking
5,
later. I'll deal with
4.
it.
Shh. He stopped saying the numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Anime Shmanime.
What's up, my shweebs?
What's
my
going
shooty
on?
schwoes?
What's going on, everybody?
Yo, what is happening? It feels like we haven't recorded in a couple weeks.
No, and it's funny because every time we start the recording, it's like we're in the middle of laughing about something else that you'll never know, maybe. So that's one's for us only.
Yeah, maybe I'll make a little video with some offcuts.
Maybe.
Just for fun, like some blooper videos.
Yeah, sweet.
So, obviously, you guys can see that today we are going to be talking about...
Ninja scroll.
Fuck you. Just
You wrote it. You wrote it like that.
All right, fine. Y'all want to see what happened? I wrote the damn thing on this little thing.
Yeah.
And I forgot the E. Okay?
The E?
The A.
Okay. Everybody, this is going to be really fun.
It's a late night, guys.
It's not even, though. It's 7 o'clock p.m.
Shut up.
Don't lie to the Swedes.
All right, again, message to all our viewers. This is a big spoiler. We are going to be spoiling absolutely everything. So go watch it or don't, but you've been warned.
You've been warmed.
Did I say? No, I said warned.
Okay. Maybe you did. I heard warmed.
I might have said that.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So Ninja Scroll.
It's fucking warm.
I'm going to tell you what it is. You got a ragtag team of 3 ninjas, right?
Yeah.
You got a cowboy. You got a woman with a poison STD. And you got an old man, dickhead Yoda type. Okay?
No. Okay, yeah, go.
And then they have to fight 8 shitty ninjas who, like, really just kind of aren't good at fighting. And they kill each other all the time.
No, you don't. Okay.
Okay.
Keep going.
And the leader of the 8 shitty ninjas is the cowboy type guy's like old buddy who is back from the dead. And everyone can do magic as per usual.
Yeah, well, dude.
Nailed it.
No, shut up, Jay. No, the thing is, it was a bit of a formula because this came out in 1993.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And a lot of those animes, like, mind you, you're watching it now as a fucking elder millennial.
Yeah.
And I watched it
Am I
when
millennial?
Yeah, you're a millennial.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, okay, I might be.
Yeah. You're totally a millennial.
I guess. I don't feel like one.
I don't know. The shoots can tell us later. But this anime I watched when it came out, like a couple of years after it came out, and I was like 12 years old, man.
That's too young. That's far too young for this content, dude.
Dude, I was in like grade 7, 8. Like, this was like the biggest dopamine hit I've ever had of like, you know, I love ninjas. I love samurais.
Sure.
I'm like 11, 12, like learning about all this
Boobs
cool
are also
shit.
very
Boobs
sick.
Yeah.
Are awesome.
Yeah.
Granted, this is very problematic.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, watching it now, it's just like, holy fuck, that's some crazy sexual assault. But at the time, when everything in the 90s was so extreme,
Sexual assault was okay.
No, it was not okay. I'm just saying that it's like your first time watching it, you're just like, holy fuck.
Yeah, well, just let me point out that, like, as a grown elder millennial, I had that same reaction. The same reaction. So not much has changed in that department.
Fair enough.
I will tell you, if we're going to get into it, that I did think it was a pretty good movie. Okay.
Okay.
On the first watch.
Okay.
I did watch it twice, actually 3 times, because we all just kind of watched it together just now before we came in here. And I found that the second watch through, I was like kind of bored, to be honest with you. I mean, a lot of that was I already knew what was coming, and there wasn't much like surprise or excitement. But so I tried to judge it more on the first watch because I think you only have one first watch, right? And it's impactful, right? Because of that.
That's fair.
So yeah, good movie. Super intense from start to finish. Like there wasn't a down moment. Like high energy all the way through, right?
It's like hyper violence, man.
Hyper violence and very rapey, and not just rapey, rape.
Yeah, just
Period.
yeah. Full stop.
So like that just added to the intensity, and like I guess like I kept wondering like. Because it's uncomfortable to watch, and I'm like, is there a place in time where that's like?
Wait until we fucking make you watch Goblin Slayer, man. so for my schweebs, you know,
I don't even want to watch that one.
that was a hard first episode to digest.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
I just kept thinking like someone had to draw this. And so like I'm wondering in my head like how do you justify as an animator making those kind of decisions? Like when is it okay to portray that in like entertainment like this?
Well,
is that okay?
Yeah, because you gotta be thinking of it, right? Like we have books that talk about it, and we have other like the pornography or hentai, which is an entire thing on itself. But like animation at this time, right? Like everything is hand drawn. Every cell is drawn, colored, inked, right? Like you don't have the same stuff that you can use now that makes things so much more efficient with computers.
Sure.
Because back then, you're also trying to push the envelope as far as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Because this is a new medium, and this is especially to North America.
Yeah.
You know
Fair
what
enough.
I mean?
Yeah.
I think like part of what makes this such a monumental movie in the grand scheme of things is that it kind of wasn't okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's kind of never been okay, but like that's why it hit so hard in North America was like. Holy shit, like they're actually showing this stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
oh my
exactly.
God.
I had that same vibe too.
But that was what it was supposed to have in the 90s. That's how they knew they were going to get North America. And that's why this movie did way better in North America than it did in Japan.
It just like kind of goes to show me that like people are really fucked up.
Yeah,
because like you'd think that would make a show, you'd think that would make a movie or show like not blow up.
No,
because it's
people
not
love
okay, but instead
things.
people love it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
People
they
love pervasive shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like think about like other North American or Western like shows like Game of Thrones, right? Like
Yeah.
that first season.
That's true.
Is fucking crazy,
You're
but
right.
everybody ate that shit up.
That's a good point. I love that show too. So I guess you're right. That's a good point.
Right?
I think like for some people like they draw the line at like violence, and then when sexual things start to get involved, it makes some people want to get up and leave the room.
Yeah.
And it makes other people not, right?
Yeah.
So they're appealing to the people who don't get up and leave the room.
Yeah, fair enough. And I'm
'Cause
not a
it's
person who
thrilling for them.
leaves the room, but I'm a person who's like not enjoying it.
I
as
wish
it's
this
happening.
wasn't
Yeah,
happening.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Can the guy please
So-
show up and murder everyone
Yeah.
right now, please?
Yeah, and that does happen. So
Well,
that's a good thing.
this whole thing, like going to those extremes is the target demographic were like kids like me at the time, right? Like who didn't
For
have
this?
But that's the,
No,
that's
it was
the
not you at the
problematic
time.
part, though. Like,
Yeah,
The target demographic was not 11
Yeah.
and 12-year-old kids in grade 7 and 8, dude.
No, well, but
This was for adults.
yeah, like young adults would be like totally into it because of how like crazy it is.
Yeah.
But every fucking grade 8's gonna go.
yeah, you
and
stumble
wanna
upon
watch.
something you shouldn't
Yeah.
watch when you're young.
Yeah,
that
when you're
happens,
young, and
right?
then,
Yeah.
then you're gonna want to seek it out. It's just
Yeah.
the way that it happens.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
just- right? Like,
Yeah.
like I like my inner like 12-year-old who wanted to be a ninja.
Yeah.
Like seeing crazy people's head get decapitated
Yeah.
and just the like fucking that rock dude drinking the blood out of the
That was
one
fucking
guy's
crazy.
arm.
Yeah, that was intense. That was a hard flex, dude. You're a twisted fuck, buddy. I'll be honest with you. You're like 12-year-old me just wanted to see the people's heads getting ripped off and drinking
Yeah.
blood from their arms.
Yeah, but like that's the thing, right? Like it's like the argument of who, is video games bad for kids, right? And
Yeah.
Playing way too many shooting games kind of desensitized. No, man, I think there's a level of where your brain knows this is fake, this is just fantasy, and that's where it stays. It stays in that realm.
Yeah.
It never actually crosses over.
Sure.
Right? Like, so if I saw that in real life, holy fuck, I'd be losing my mind.
You'd be Jubei.
I'd be Jubei.
Yeah.
Get fucking poisoned.
Yeah. Crazy, dude. Okay, well, we can move on from that. We'll have to talk about it again later when we get into it. So let's pepper it in as opposed to just talk about rape for the first top 20 minutes.
Okay. Senpai, why don't you hit us? Let's take a little bit of a break. Why don't you hit us with some facts?
Yeah. I'll give you guys a little bit of a background on this one. So again, apologies for all of the names I'm about to butcher and pronunciations I'm about to completely destroy.
That's all right.
So Ninja Scroll, or in Japanese, Jubei Ninpucho, literally meaning Jubei the Wind Ninja, is a 1993 Japanese anime Jidaigeki Chanbara historical fantasy, which is a period piece about sword fighting.
Is this like one of the subgenres of anime?
It is a subgenre of Japanese media, period. Okay. Novels, movies, TV shows, anime.
They get really specific.
You name what, it's a huge part of their industry or their history, right? Is sword based, period pieces. So they love.
It's just funny because in Western culture, they just be like, it's an action movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They wouldn't really break it down that hard.
Historical drama.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, well, no, they got an actual word for it.
Yeah.
So it was written and directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri, starring the voices of Koichi Yamadera, Emi Shinohara, Takeshi Ayano, Daisuke Gori, Toshihiko Seki, and Shuichiro Moriyama. The film was a co-production between JVC, Toho, and Movic, with Madhouse serving as the animation studio. Kudos to Madhouse. What a spectacular job they did.
Yeah.
Ninja Scroll was theatrically released in Japan on June 5th, 1993, and received an English dubbed release in Western countries through Manga Entertainment in 1995. So 2 years later, North America got it dubbed.
Okay.
Takes place in feudal Japan and follows Kibagami Jubei, a mercenary swordsman.
My man.
Who battles the 8 devils of Kimon, a team of ninjas with supernatural powers who are intent on overthrowing the Tokugawa shogunate. During his quest, he is aided by Dakuan, an elderly but crafty government spy, and Kagero, Koga Kunoichi, whose body is infused with poisonous toxins. The STD our man Jordy was talking about.
You don't want to get
it. The story and style was influenced by the works of novelist Futaro Yamada and Western spy fiction, with Jubei's character being loosely inspired by the historical figure Yagyu.
Han Solo.
Yagyu Jubei Mitsuyoshi.
Oh, sorry, I was way off.
Praised for its animation and action. Is regarded by many as one of the most influential anime films ever made. Yeah. Alongside Akira and our fave Ghost in the Shell, it was responsible for increasing the popularity of adult-oriented anime outside Japan. The film has been cited by the Wachowskis as an influence on the Matrix franchise, and resulted in Kawajiri later contributing the two segments in the anthology film The Animatrix.
Interesting.
Yeah, actually, I remember.
Which ones? Which segments? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I haven't watched The Animatrix in a long time.
Me neither.
I imagine it'd probably be pretty obvious if you
his style is so like distinct.
Yeah,
because I've seen like he did also Highlander.
Okay,
remember like there can only be
I know Highlander,
one, right? Yeah. Like and that was awesome, and like that was a wicked anime. It was better than the fucking TV series.
That's all I remember is actually the TV series. My brother's a big fan of it. He loves campy sci-fi shit though, and I was like, something about that. Something about that. Yeah.
Not for me.
Crazy, man.
But yeah, this is totally a timepiece though. But like with any kind of timepiece, you can either be a bit more true to the time.
Yeah.
Right. And be like, this is what samurais actually look like. And again, they have to glorify it a little bit to make it entertaining.
And magic. They have to make everyone do magic.
But that's the other thing, right? You got to add that bit of magic. But the nice thing about this one is that like you get right away whether or not it's going to be like either fantasy timepiece or just an actual timepiece. Right. Sure. This is fantasy right from the get-go. Like that scene when he's on the bridge and the guy like shoots him with his hand and slices him in half, and it's like this tiny little dwarf guy.
Yeah. That was weird. Yeah. That scene happened so fast.
Yeah, it sets the tone for the whole movie.
Yeah, you're right. It does. It kind of does, yeah.
And back to your point about how like you're the second watch through, I can totally get why it was a little bit hard to consume because there's not a lot to the story. It's an action movie.
Sure.
Really, at the end of the day.
Totally. And it's like we'll get into it too, but like each time he goes to fight one of the devils, it's like they meet, They fight. You find out what the devil's power is. Devil's dead. Moving on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like once you get the formula of it, it's kind of like, okay, I get where this is going. You know what I mean?
But again, this for the time
Yeah.
was fucking remarkable, and
Sure.
it still holds up.
What I noticed though is you guys know my issues as far as like what I call Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
Somehow they managed to make a movie with Monster of the Week format. I don't
Monster
like,
of the 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was like that, dude. It was
Ninja
like
the
that.
10.
Yeah, like there could have been easily like a 12 episode series in this.
Well, they had
Easily.
they had a fucking Ninja Scroll TV series after this, but it was not nearly as good.
Okay,
Not
fair
nearly as
enough.
good.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So
Yeah, okay.
So okay, let's start with but the whole world. What did you think of the whole world?
I mean, it's
world
Japan. It's old timey Japan with magic. So like we've seen it before.
We've
It's-
been here.
We've been here.
Welcome
yeah.
back,
Yeah,
baby.
we've been here.
Yeah.
Get comfortable.
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm learning that this is the thing. When I see old timey
Yeah.
Japan, I'm like, someone's gonna fucking do a magic trick. I know for sure. I'm getting used to it. You know what I mean?
Wait until you fucking
Bet you
start
that sword's
seeing-
magic.
Yeah. You start making you watch like time periods where they have mech.
Yeah, I guess so. Do they also have magic? Probably.
No, they have mech.
Okay, but not magic.
Not magic. It's
Okay.
mech. It's
Okay.
it's a science.
Could be
Technology
could,
is a
could,
form of magic.
could be Magic Mac.
Well, I guess yeah, it depends.
Magic Mike.
Who knows? I
Magic
don't
Mike, that's me.
know. Yeah. Anyways,
That's another podcast.
one day maybe. Yeah. The Sharpie is a vape. So moving on now.
You just gotta fucking just destroy that for everybody.
That's a really
eh?
obvious one.
That's
You're
a
not fooling
fucking
anyone.
Destroy that for everybody.
You're not fooling anyone with that Sharpie, Mikey. You're not
make it
fooling
vape.
anyone with that Sharpie.
Make it vape.
Yeah.
Make a vape.
Anyways, there's not much to say on world.
Drink some fucking
It is what it
camel
is.
milk.
Yeah, I would. We can move on to art,
Yeah,
which
okay,
I think we
art.
can all agree is fucking stunning.
Yes.
Like next level.
Yeah.
This was the saving grace of the movie, and like I said, it was a good movie, but the art was great.
Yeah, like
next
that's what I'm
level.
saying, man. Like,
Yeah.
think of how awesome that art is compared to the anime that we watch now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, everybody distinctly, like, each character has a very distinct look to
Totally,
them.
those 8 wacky devils, or each one is like
Yeah.
completely different from the next.
Right? Like, in most animes, all they do is, like, take the same formula, body shape, big eyes,
Yeah.
and give them a different hairstyle
Yeah.
or whatever. But, like,
Yeah,
each-
every ragtag team has like leader dude, giant dude, sexy girl, little guy. It's like
All the archetypes.
It's
Yeah,
all that, right?
Yeah, it's the archetypes. Wait until we do 7 Deadly Sins.
Yeah.
I was even
But that's,
gonna
but that's
say,
a commentary almost
yeah.
on it, right?
I was
they
gonna say,
almost play it
I
up.
was literally naming the characters from Inuyasha just now, so
did.
like it's the same, dude.
Yeah.
yeah,
Classic ragtag deal, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
But I love that.
But it's in
Little misfits.
Western cinema as well, and Western media as well. I mean, look at
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean,
it's
that's
true.
That's a very typical.
Yeah, you're
you
right.
know,
It is. It
yeah.
is very tropey.
It is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
My
yeah,
man,
each
with the
character had
terms.
fucking like different expressions,
Yeah.
animated.
Totally.
And each one is a cell, right? Instead of the computer.
Oh
like-
yeah, the hand drawn one frame by frame.
Yeah.
it adds a character that you don't see a lot these days, if at all. I don't know if anybody's doing that anymore. I don't know if that's a thing at all anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like from our last episode with Ghost in the Shell, right? You get
Yeah.
this grittiness with that.
yeah, true.
Right? That
Absolutely.
that you don't get now.
Yeah. Did you guys notice we're talking about character design that Jubei has enormous fucking hands?
I did. There's
They're
one part where
so
he,
big.
he embraces her. He wraps his hand around her.
Dude,
Oh,
he could
and
just
his hand is the
he
whole
could have
size
just
of her
wrapped his
back.
hand around her. Yeah.
Yeah, his whole her whole torso
Yeah.
fits in his hand.
Dude, it was one of those like once you see you can't unsee things. Like, every time I was like, the hands, they're so big.
Well, he needs it to hold that massive sword.
Yeah, I guess so.
What a sword too, man! When he uses
Yeah.
that thing and
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
wave of like damage that explodes out of that thing.
Totally,
it's
yeah.
pretty badass.
If we're gonna further the talk about art, like the cinematography as well too, like the way they pick their shots and the way they cut from like the characters to like the grass to like birds to buildings, it was unfriggin' believable, dude. Really cool.
Or like when some of the backgrounds are looking more painted with
Yeah.
and then you have the animation style
front
like
of it.
right on top
Yeah.
of it. Like, whew.
Totally. And great also like shadow play, the use of light and shadows. And like there's like scenes that are like all in silhouette, and there's like these scenes where the light's flashing and it's causing these cool shadows where things are coming in and out of negative is really cool. Like it's crazy.
I thought the shadow fight.
Yeah.
was particularly like
Totally.
the lighting in that, the red lighting,
Yeah.
that red glow throughout that entire fight sequence. Everything
Yeah.
was a different shade of red.
For sure.
But like it didn't lose any of like the detail or like the intensity,
Totally.
just being all monochrome like that. It was still really intense and amazing.
Absolutely. And what was cool
Oh,
about
yeah.
that scene too is that it wasn't just like, okay, now we get a red and black silhouette scene. It's like, no, the sun's going down and it's sunset.
Yeah.
So it's all written into the plot too, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, hey, we needed something different, right?
No, the shadows are at their strongest
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's very, very cool.
It
Yeah.
was really cool.
But
I
it's-
would.
it's
The other
cool-
thing I will say though is I would have liked more from that.
Sure.
Again, because they did this 8 devils, and I'm like,
I don't know, man. Like that scene specifically, the way that scene starts,
Yeah.
with the girl's leg,
yeah. We'll
Kagero's-
I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to talk about that again. We'll get to it. I'm not ready for it. But my point is, dude, is that like again, like you could have given me a whole episode of a show like that.
Yeah.
If it was the style of the time and given the same attention, and this was a 12 show series,
Yeah.
like you could have given me a whole episode of that, and I would have been like loving it.
Yeah.
And instead, I got like not even 5 minutes in that little scene.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
But it's hard to like like if you look at the animation, like anime series
Mm-hmm.
at the time in the 90s, the quality of animation compared to a feature film like this, like
Yeah.
they just don't have the budget, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
and to kind of produce it like that. Like, I mean, nowadays they for sure could do it.
Yeah.
But I just find that a lot of mangaka and like a lot of anime artists, like they just recycle this kind of same formula.
Yeah.
But there's been a couple good new ones that have come out, which I really like. But we'll get to those ones another
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Fair enough. Anyways, I think we can all agree art top notch.
Top.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Another thing that was also kind of top notch, although like kind of downplayed and subtle and not like big and in your face like the art was the music. Like that simple traditional Japanese sound from top to bottom was like super effective. Again,
Yeah.
not like in your face, but like really complimenting and enhancing the vibe of every scene.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like it brings that timepiece, that culture.
Totally.
Right? Because you don't hear that in a lot of actually, Jay, you said this when we were watching, even the noise of the crickets.
Yeah.
Right? Like those are probably crickets that they have specifically in Japan.
Yeah.
Right. And then bringing that piece of culture, that piece of their land into a film and then into North America.
Yeah.
Right. Like really goes like, because I mean, North America, Canada, that's where we're from. Fucking, we don't have crazy cool shit. Like our history's so short. Right. like,
Sure.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I see where you're
Japan's got
getting
fucking like thousands of years
Yeah,
of
it's
history.
true. Yeah.
Right.
It's a lot more fuel for shows like this.
Yeah, right. Like they got so much more to pull from.
For sure.
And I think like as far as music goes, like sometimes obviously, music that really catches your attention is super successful for that reason. But then sometimes when music doesn't necessarily catch your attention,
Yeah.
that's also sometimes just as good.
Totally.
Because it means that it's working so perfectly with everything that it's not taking you out of the moment. It's
Yeah.
not,
Totally.
so in that regard, it being, like you said, not super in your face, but just perfect. I think like that.
It shows like a level of restraint because it could be easy to throw like a fucking Duel of the Fates in front of an epic like one-on-one fight scene battle, but that's actually not serving your purpose in a movie like this. In Star Wars, okay, you have a huge production, you have a ton of shit going on.
Yeah.
But in this, you have these kind of subtleties, and the music just plays off those subtleties really well.
Yeah.
Those are executed.
And it's
very
pure,
well.
and I feel like it's also probably kind of period accurate to an
Yeah,
extent
exactly.
as well.
Mike, you mentioned that too. That it's
Yeah.
like it's taking you to the time where you're supposed to be, right?
I find that with any music, as long as it doesn't pull you out of the movie or out of what you're watching, you're good.
Totally.
Right? But
Unless
as
it's
soon
doing
as
it by
does
making you cry, or you know what I mean, like
Well, yeah.
in that way,
Yeah,
it can
in
pull
that
you out
way.
in a different way.
in
you know?
a different way, right? Like, but if it's pulling you out of watching it or enjoying it, then it's like that was poor taste in music, right?
Yeah. Of
Or
course.
poor taste in sound or samples,
Yeah.
whatever, right?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But what's great about music
Yeah.
is that if you go and you put your headphones on while you're listening to this, you can maybe also hear the sound of that subscribe button clicking.
You sneaky fuck. You're the shadow bastard from this movie.
Son of a bitch.
You just kind of snuck in there from the shadows and shot your little chain right into those shreebs.
Man.
Yeah.
You're like a snake. You're like a snake crawling between some lady's butt cheeks and biting me on the leg with your subscribe request.
Oh, that's another one.
But I guess while we're at it, definitely Definitely subscribe, guys.
Yeah, please do.
Or
Like
give
the
us a
video.
review, like whatever.
Liking helps,
format.
guys. Help us.
Yeah, maybe if your fingers feel like typing and want to hear the keys of your fingers typing.
You're really sticking to this sound metaphor thing you got going on here. Yeah.
I can't give up on it. Not yet. Not yet.
He's committed,
all
bro.
in.
He's
I'm gonna
committed.
drive it home.
You're all in. Driving home, buddy. I'm here for it.
Anyways, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Love you guys. Okay.
Okay, let's get to the meat. Let's get to the plot of the movie. And we'll, this movie kind of like, when you're doing a film like this, it kind of lends itself to kind of going step by step chronologically to talk about it. And in this movie, because of the like Monster of the Week format, Monster of the 10 minutes, as Jay put it, we're probably going to talk about a lot of the characters in depth as we go on with the plot, I'm thinking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Because it's like, this is the thing. It's his challenge was to get to that Gamma who like he thought he killed.
Yeah.
And now it's just all these other people. It's like fucking, what is it? That Bruce Lee movie. Oh my God, I can't remember.
I'm not the guy who knows the answer to your question.
God, it's with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Why can't I think of this? I should fucking know it. Anyways, Shweebs and
Get him, internet.
yeah,
Get him.
Yeah.
Take him down. Okay, let's
He
get into
doesn't
it.
know.
Yeah, no, I know it. It's in there.
Might not be, because you'll say it and be like, yeah. That's what... Okay, so we start the movie off. I'm just gonna jump ahead. You start the movie off with that bridge scene, which we already kind of talked about, right? You get your introduction to Jubei, who's like your cool, calm ninja cowboy kind of type, and he just destroys these fucking guys before you even know what's happening. Like so quick. They're all done. And then the last dude who's living like explains some shit quickly that like I didn't quite understand right away. Do you know what I mean? And you guys are always telling me they drop you right in and you just have to go with it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, but they're giving me the guy explaining me something and it's not making sense because I don't know the context yet.
No. So in that scene, you're talking about the bridge scene where he says, "Oh, you took only 20 coins for that job."
Yeah.
It's setting up his character.
Yeah.
It's not actually telling you where you are. You know where you are
Okay.
as soon as you see that bridge and their clothes and hit him walking around with a fucking samurai sword.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're in a timepiece already.
Sure. Yeah. I'm just saying I thought that guy was trying to explain to me something that's relevant to the plot and he wasn't.
No, yeah, that was
just like a standalone scene.
that was a standalone scene
Yeah.
to introduce Jubei and the type of person he is,
Yeah.
the type of character he is.
Sure.
The fact that he only took 20 coins because he knew that this village couldn't afford anything more than that.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying. Makes sense.
That's right, guys. I'm getting fucking better at this.
Got him.
Or like,
Got him.
okay, I'm gonna get you in a bit though. So after that, you get a lot of quick establishing scenes, right? A bunch of stuff happens that is setting up the plot, right? Like
Yeah.
your random shadow dude is controlling the dead lady, or maybe she's not dead yet.
Yeah,
Which
she's
sets up the
technically dead, yeah,
okay. Well, that
but
sets up
whatever.
the plague, which turns out later is not really a plague, right? It's just like all set up and fabricated. They poisoned the water or whatever and killed everybody. Then you get this random ninja talking to the chancellor and they're taking orders. So you're setting up the fact that there's some like warring families going on. Do you know what I mean? Which is like kind of like the groundwork for what's happening.
Which, again, that's timepiece. And I guess this, when you watch more anime with timepieces, like Japan is always just in a fucking war.
Yeah. And it's all like warlords and families against each
Yeah.
other, like little factions, right?
Feudal.
Yeah.
Feudal
Exactly.
Japan.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So then you also get to meet Kagero.
Yeah.
Right. And she's this like take no shit ninja lady. And she does that thing where she's like the chancellor's poison taster and now
Yeah.
he's away. So she's going to go off with them and she cuts her ponytail off, which is a thing, right? For ninjas. Cause I think I've seen that in like other programs before. It
Well,
signifies something, right?
Yeah, well, it's like their top knot, right? Getting
Yeah.
your top knot cut off.
Yeah. But like
I think it's
my
like-
top knot's not important. A ninja's top knot is representative of something,
Yeah,
right?
like I'm no Japanese expert
Sure.
in cultural history. Like I just watch a shit ton of anime.
Okay, sure. But
Right,
you've seen
but, like-
that happen in other,
Yeah,
like
and-
I
and
have too.
stuff,
I think
yeah.
Samurai Jack did it before. I think in Princess Mononoke, when the kid has to get banished from his village, he has to cut his hair off
Yeah.
before he leaves, right?
Yeah.
It's like a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah, we don't know what it means, but it's a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can make assumptions. Anyway, Shweebs, let us know in the comments below.
Roast us again.
Yeah, there you go. Get him.
This is a funny one. We're laughing. We're laughing. So we're after that.
Senpai, you should fucking know. You're the same.
I'm not gonna lie. I just tried to look it up real quick and struck out. So let's just keep going, guys.
Yeah, we'll add a note in the future or not. I don't know. So, anyways, then you meet her
I'm a lazy editor,
ninja team. I forget they have a name, but the Koga ninjas. Okay, so you meet them and they're like all fucking dickheads, and they're all objectifying her, which is a theme in this movie. Everyone kind of seems to do that except Jubei. Although he has his own issues, which we'll talk about later. And I keep thinking, like, I hope she fucks them up, and then she doesn't have to because they all die. Every single one of them, except her, dead. And mysteriously, because you don't know why. They're just, like, all massacred, murdered all over the place. And then you meet the Thing. Right?
There he is. Say hi.
Yeah.
He's grinning at you.
Yeah, he's screaming right there. Right there.
And so he's crazy strong and intimidating, and literally he just killed everyone.
Yeah.
And then he flexes super hard, as you mentioned, by like ripping off that dude's arms and drinking his blood in front of Kagero, who is like fucking terrified, as she should be, right? Yeah. And then he steals her away for a very, very uncomfortable rape scene. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That scene is intense.
It is not cool, dude. Like, it was not enjoyable to watch. And I also mention that I watch this in subs and dubs, as I tend to do with these movies, because I come from a place of dubs, and I'm trying to be a good schweeb, and I'm trying to watch things in subs for you guys.
Nice. Thank you.
But it was way more cringy in the dub, dude. Because the things that he's saying are awful, dude. He says something at one point. He says, "Don't let it cross your mind that I wouldn't mind raping a dead girl." I'm like, holy fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like, it was already bad the first watch through, and then the second watch through, I was like, he made it worse. I thought I was ready for it, and it wasn't going to be that bad, but it was much worse. Yeah. It was much worse.
Yeah, I remember watching it in dubs when this first came out, and then now I watched it in subs. But yeah, it's fucking crazy. Not to mention, like, again, it's hard for me because there's my 12-year-old brain, and then there's my like adult brain, right? Like, from like feeling nostalgic of watching all the crazy fight scenes, you know, and how gory it is and how fucked up it is, right? And having that dopamine hit, just keep hitting and hitting,
just
and hitting.
enjoyment,
right?
Just hard. And
then now, like, doing the rewatch for this, right? Yeah. But there's like moments where in that scene where he's like literally. His mouth is so big.
It's like her whole face is inside of it.
Like the nose is inside his mouth.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird, man. It's so weird. I didn't like it. We're not going to talk about it anymore. So then, Jubei to the rescue. Jubei comes in, and now you've set up their dynamic. He's rescued her, and now she fucking owes him, according to their law, right? Like a ninja code, right?
The honor, right? It's the honorable.
Exactly. And she, being a take no shit ninja type, is acting all hard, but then she fucking breaks down and cries in the grass as soon as he walks away, right? So you set up this kind of dichotomy within her character where she's like acting super hard, but actually she's like super fucked up and not having a good time.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, I mean, at that point, we don't really, I mean, Jubei doesn't know, but we kind of know that she like, can't be with anybody because her body's poisonous.
Totally.
Right? And so to kind of humanize her in such a way, right? Like, because...
Which I think was needed to happen because not only can she not fuck... But also, she just got like brutally assaulted. You know what I mean? You can't, no matter how hard you are on the outside, you're broken on the inside a little bit after something like that.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
100%.
So it was important, I think, as a viewer to see that happen, to set up the fact that like she's a real human being. You know what I mean? Which I appreciated. So then right after the intense rape and rescue, you get a full-on porn scene. Right? So you kind of started to get a flavor of what's going to happen in this movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't go, like, it didn't go full-blown hentai on us, but it was
like you don't see dick going in, but you do get the intention that like dick is going in.
Well,
right. You get everything but.
You get everything but.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I think that's how it happened, was from behind.
Yeah. And then to make matters worse, Kagero, who just like literally got raped and like is having a hard time, as we established, has to walk in and watch that happen.
Yeah.
And now
she's talking to the guy.
And she's talking to him, and she's ultra shook because not only did she just get disregarded as a human being, but now this guy who's her literal boss is disregarding a human being, right? Like,
but also disregarding her as a human being because the guy couldn't even stop fucking thrusting
exactly.
for 2 seconds to talk to her.
She
has to talk to him through the moans of the girl that he's banging.
Yeah, and this is a good. You mentioned when we were talking about the art, about each person having their different facial expressions. She has the Kagero has this look when she's like fucking like pissed off or like troubled. It's so intense, and it keeps going back and back and back and back.
Scary
it's like,
look, man.
Yeah. Because
But
she's like,
she's on the verge of tears in that scene, though.
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
you can feel it.
it's like the peak of sadness and hatred and disturbed. Like she's like building murderous rage, basically.
Yeah. It's just trauma on top of trauma on
Yeah.
top of trauma,
Exactly,
right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, that whole how feudal Japan was running at that point with that hierarchy.
Yeah.
Right. You had to swallow a lot of your feelings.
Yeah, totally.
So-
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to get caught up in the weeds if we keep talking about this, because I could talk about how intense her character is for fucking ever. So anyways, we go back and we're still fighting the Stone Man, who is like one of the only devils who actually like gets more than one face off with Jubei, which is weird to me. Like, again, they all just show up and meet him and then die. But he gets an extra little fight, and then the fucking string man tells him to chill. I don't really know why, but he's like, "Oh, don't fight him now," and so they go away. And what you learn in that space, I think, is that his like assault on her, now he's poisoned the Stone Man.
Yeah.
And so his like stone's now chipping off, right? And so he's putting a beating on Jubei, and then Jubei does this cool thing with his sword. It's on a string.
Yeah. It's just so that
Fucking
he
so
can,
cool, man.
I know. I said the same thing when I saw he
Why
had
does
done
never
that.
ninja do that?
I was like, dude, so smart.
Yeah.
So
Every person's weapon of all time should always be on a string.
Always have a tether.
Always have a string. Yeah. So smart. Anyways, I just like that. Is that historical? We don't know.
Actually,
I don't
know.
think so.
I don't think so either, man. Like, well, no, but samurai
I
swords
also have no idea. What the fuck am I even saying? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so my shreves.
Yeah, tell us. I'm
Senpai
curious.
is high again.
Yeah. I feel like somebody somewhere in feudal Japan had a sword on a string.
I know
It happened
anime,
once.
okay? I don't know Japanese history.
I don't remember what it's called, but all katanas and swords have a string built onto them.
Okay.
Right, but
A tassel.
Well, yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but
Yeah.
but not like a string like you see that Jubei has, that's like barely
Yeah.
visible.
Yeah, like a little fishing wire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So
Anyways, that was cool. And then they keep fighting, and now that the fucking thing is all like poisoned, now
by
he's
the way,
vulnerable.
the thing that he's talking about is from Fantastic Four for like not.
Like the big rock guy from Marvel from the
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
yeah, I'm the least nerdy, but I have to remember that some people might be less nerdy than me. Anyway, so they keep
You
fighting
think you're the least nerdy?
of this group.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Yeah, this
that's
group.
true. That's true.
In this room.
This
Yeah.
group.
Yeah. Yeah.
But out there,
But out there, there's just complete normies.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Yeah. You have no idea. I don't even think those people could handle this fucking movie.
Yeah, like I could never show this to my parents.
No.
No,
No way.
no way.
No.
why would you want to?
You
No, I
wouldn't.
wouldn't.
You wouldn't. No, nobody wants that. Anyways, okay, so let's get back to it. The Stone Man gets his head split in half.
Which is fucking amazing.
Yeah, which is
So
cool.
good.
And then explain this to me. The one, I can't remember who it was, comes back and lifts his hand, and there's a face in the ground.
So okay,
What is that?
So he has. So it doesn't get explained, but he has the power to
Wait,
take an imp.
hold on. Something in anime doesn't get
Shut the
explained?
fuck up and just accept it. Okay, but he
News
has
to
the,
me.
Yeah, he has the power to imprint his face on his hand
Yeah.
and put it in the ground so that he could tell his other ninja
Yeah.
fucking demon buddies that this
Yeah.
is who you're looking for that killed me.
That's an oddly convenient and specific power to not explain.
Well, again, you're thrown into this world.
Yeah.
You just accept what's happening. If that happens, like, okay, if you get thrown into a world like this, are people going to explain their powers to you? They probably don't want you to know their powers.
No, but I'm watching a movie that you want me to like if you made it. So you want me to
But, like,
understand it as
think
I'm
about
watching
this.
it.
Like, if he has a power to mold Earth, right? That's a pretty general, cool.
Does he have that
fantasy
power, though?
power? Well, I think
it's on his
this
body.
is being explained as they reveal this trick.
I guess
But
so.
let's say that that's his power. Isn't that kind of a cool reveal of said power? Is that like in that
guess.
oh shit moment, like, oh, he can actually mold Earth like that and sculpt this guy's face to tip off his buddies?
It just-
I know it's very specific.
Yeah.
But it's kind of sick too, right?
I mean,
That's what I'm getting at.
I don't know if I agree, to be honest. I mean, like, if you're gonna, have,
You're doing so close.
listen
You're
to
so
me,
close.
dude. If you're gonna give me a character who has the power to mold Earth, have him mold the Earth and use that as his power. Like,
Isn't that
But maybe he doesn't have like that. He's not like a fucking earthbender.
no, you're right. He only has the power to put the image image of a face in his hand and smash it in the ground as he's dying so that people
He's
can avenge his
kind of
death.
made of rocks, though.
Yeah, he's made of rocks. To me, it was like a guy
It's
can turn his
adjacent.
skin to stone. That was all I understood. And then all of a sudden, he does this weird thing with the hand, and you guys are like, "He can bend the earth."
You know what, Jordy? Shame on you for thinking that's all it was. It's never all it is.
That's all I was given.
It's never all it is.
That's all I was given.
Assume
Always.
it's not
Okay.
what it is always.
Okay, speaking of magical powers that are weird,
Okay.
snake bitch.
Yo, her powers are not weird. They're fucking cool.
Her
I agree.
reveal in the river was pretty sick.
that was really cool.
Fucking sick.
Where have I seen snake tattoos coming to life before?
I don't know. It's probably been seen like redone so many times.
I was
since
gonna
this
say
movie
that's the
has
thing.
come
I
out. Like,
couldn't point it in my head. I was like, recently, I feel like in a show I've seen that.
Yeah,
but-
or like I'm sure there's been scenes where like in some sort of TV show somebody does LSD and their tattoos start moving around. I mean,
but specifically as like a power. I feel like there's been a movie. Anyways,
no, there is a DC kind of like anti-hero called Ink.
Okay.
And his tattoos like come to life, and
Yeah.
that's his superpower.
anyways,
But anyway,
that was cool. Very cool.
very cool.
And then she not only does she have like snake tattoos that come to life, but she can also shed her skin.
Yeah.
Which was like at first I was like, where the fuck did this bitch go? And then they're like, oh, a cast off skin. And I was like, oh, cool, because snake. Yeah, got it. Right?
Yes, Jordy.
Yes,
man.
I get
That's
it.
it, dude.
You need scenes like that to like spell it out for you.
Yeah, a little bit.
got it,
You know what I
bro.
mean? But also, she didn't just die then and there, and it wasn't just a mechanism in her death. Then later on, that happens again. It comes back. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like stone face in the ground is like, I'm dead. Avenge me with this stone face in the ground. Anyways, in this scene after the snake bitch, we get to meet the weird old Yoda man.
Yo, that guy, I love that guy.
I hate
but-
him with a fucking passion,
Why?
dude. To be honest with you,
Well, what's his
he
name
just
again?
annoyed
Like,
me, man.
Starts with a D.
Dickhead. He fucking annoyed me, dude. Big time. But he also is tropey, right? He's your classic, if we're going to talk anime we've covered, he's Miyogi
Yeah.
from
Da-
Inuyasha.
Dakuan.
He's Yoda.
Dakuan,
He's
thank you.
Obi-Wan. He's a million other examples of the wise old man who knows the ways of the world. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I mean?
he's also like, but it's the tropiness. And this is, I think, where the tropes kind of started.
in
right?
this movie, you mean?
Yeah, like
Okay.
like parts of the tropes that happen because this is from the 90s, right?
Oh, you're saying this is like a landmark of that trope happening.
Yeah.
I would wager to say that like ancient film always had a wise old man. Like that's like,
Yeah, that's kind of.
I feel like that's,
I can agree there.
I feel like that's also part of the period. Like when you're talking about ninjas and samurais, there's always that wise old revered like wise man
or that
who is the
monk
teacher. Do you know what I
who's-
mean? Exactly.
Yeah, like that kind of like that drunk monk who
Yeah.
like everybody thinks is stupid, but he's just acting
Yeah.
that way to throw people off.
totally. Or
That
fucking
guy-
Splinter, dude. Like he's
Yeah.
that's an
Splinter-
age old trope.
Splinter. Okay, don't
But
fuck with Splinter.
in anime.
Yeah,
Splinter-
in
I
anime.
like
was
Splinter though.
one of
I
the
fucking hate this
earlier-
dude. So I'm not fucking with Splinter. Yeah. Anyway, so he explains to you a bunch of shit that's going on, right? He explains the 8 devils. He explains about the government spies. He explains about the stolen gold, and he introduces you to Jubei's past because you don't really know what happened with Jubei and the gold mine and killing all his teammates and whatnot, right? He also administers the poison ultimatum. So now Jubei's poisoned,
Yeah.
right? And the only way he can get unpoisoned or get the antidote is by helping this old man now.
Yeah.
So this old man's a crafty motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, because technically he's not. He's posing as a monk when he's really a government spy.
Yeah, true.
Right?
But he
So-
also has like ninja powers and shit like that. And like no one's fooled. Like as soon as they see him, they're trying to fight him right away. Right? No one's like, oh, harmless old monk. Everyone's trying to kill him as well.
Yeah.
Right? So he's not fooling anyone. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like if you saw Dalsim, like
Yeah.
yeah, you'd fight Dalsim.
Probably if he's stretching his arms all up in my face. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so then we get the snake woman back. We're in this like temple, right? This Buddhist temple. And she's like shapeshifted into this old lady. Right?
Yep.
Okay. And then all of a sudden she like bursts open to snakes and she's completely naked.
Well, no. So the old woman is just being controlled. With
Oh, it's not
snakes.
her, it just
It's not-
is snakes.
It just is snakes.
Okay.
Right? Because she explodes into
Yeah.
a whole bunch of snakes.
That's true. Yeah, it did happen. Okay. So then my question is why is she naked? Is that just a flex?
That's just no. It's not just a flex, but like I mean, for sure, she could. The snakes could tear out of her clothes. I
Yeah.
guess it is a flex.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but again, it's meant for mature audiences.
Yeah,
so
it's shock factor.
it's
But
shock
that's the thing.
factor.
Sometimes I have a hard time with shock factor for shock factor's sake and not for plot's sake.
Yeah, but again, you see, you're thinking of watching this movie now because I get it. You did watch it now,
Yeah.
but like at the time in the '90s, you've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
So that was the first time people were exposed to shock factors.
Yeah.
Right. So that to me, I remember as a kid was just like stirring some other crazy shit in my brain.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. I'm going to give you another example of shock factor for shock factor's sake versus plot, and it's all contained in this movie, and I'm going to get ahead of myself. We don't have to get into this scene yet, but there's a second rape scene later on, okay, which doesn't advance plot at all whatsoever.
No.
The first one, okay, we've now poisoned the stone man. He's vulnerable. He can die. The second one is just rape. Right?
Yep.
Which, again... rape for shock factor versus like giving the plot an element because of it.
Well, keep in mind, like, so there's a lot of things that will have, like, you'll see in a lot of other anime as well. Is they really, like, in order to make the death of a villain extra satisfying,
You have to hate him.
you have to hate
Yeah.
him really,
Oh,
really
okay.
badly.
I see what you're saying.
And they can fuel that with these very shocking scenes.
Sure.
It drives your own personal hatred. It makes you root for the hero more
Yeah.
and hate the villains more, which
Okay.
is exactly what you want.
Yeah, I get
So
that.
there is a device to doing it
Yeah.
other than just trying to make people uncomfortable.
Yeah, I guess they just picked like a really gruesome way to do that.
Yeah,
which was
but like,
That's what I mean. Some people will get out of the room and some people will stay.
Yeah,
This is for
you're
the
right.
people that will stay.
Yeah, you're right.
how satisfying was it when we fucking watched what's his name from Game of Thrones die, the little kid.
Oh yeah, I love that guy. I love when he died. Yeah.
Right?
Joffrey.
Yeah, I
Joffrey,
love
that's
when
right,
he
Joffrey.
died. But again, this
Fucking-
guy, if we're going to talk about this movie, the
But-
shadow guy didn't really have much of a lead up to that.
So my
you know
thing
what I mean?
with that scene,
So they got to make you hate him quick.
yeah,
I guess.
is-
You got
Yeah.
one shot.
But they
Yeah.
didn't do that with any of the other devils, which we'll get into. They just showed up and died.
Yeah, but I think in that scene they established his power, right? Like, because we didn't know how he was controlling people.
He controlled them by fingering them.
No, he controlled them through his saliva. I'm sure would just he injected in, however. But this way, it was just an extra grotesque way of doing it.
I guess so. See, I didn't even get that. I wasn't even sure why his hands were all greasy. I kind of thought maybe we were watching like the second time he went in there. Or something. Like, I'm just saying, like, again, when they don't explain things, I don't know that. So, like,
but no, there's a scene right before where he like puts his saliva all on his fingers.
is there?
Yeah,
I missed that.
Yeah.
On the 3 times I watched this movie, I missed that
To be
scene.
fair, though, there could be other reasons he's doing
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
Mikey.
granted, yes, but like,
Okay, anyways, we're getting ahead because we'll
Anyways.
get to that when we get chronologically. Either way, this movie's fucked up. So, moving on.
Yeah, we got to keep it moving.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, Snake Woman has like a snake comes out of her vagina. She bites the snake bites. What's her name?
Kagero?
Yeah, who can't die from poison. So
Yeah.
that didn't work on her. That's convenient.
yeah, well, she doesn't know that.
Okay, and then suddenly Snake bitch is dead from the string guy.
Yes.
Okay. So this introduces like the fact that their team sucks. They're a
Yeah,
shitty team.
but
they hate each other and they're killing each other.
Yes, but do you know what was interesting about this team though is that the string guy. Fuck, I'm so bad with fucking names.
It's okay. Use my names. I like them. String guy,
String
snake
guy.
bitch, the
Yeah.
thing.
It works.
Yeah, there we go. Well, the string guy is in love with Gamma, right? Or Gamma.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he the girl that has the fucking
Yeah, the bird bitch.
the gunpowder girl.
Okay, yeah, gunpowder bird bitch.
She tells him that Gamma sleeps with boys and girls.
Okay.
and Gamma was sleeping with the snake girl.
Oh,
All right, so
I
he
missed
was
that.
jealous.
String
I
guy is
missed that.
Yurimaru.
Oh, thank you,
By the way.
senpai.
Stringy string dude.
But string guy is much better.
Yeah. Okay, so I missed that. And again, somehow, when things are happening so fast in a movie like this, I feel like I'm missing things. And again, I'll say it again. I'll be a broken record. If this was a 12-episode show, they could have given me some more explanation on that and sink it in. So, it's clear now, and maybe this is just me, but I'm inclined to believe that a lot of people, when watching this movie for the first time, whether then or now, are missing shit.
Yeah, most
Right?
likely. Like,
Because that's happening in this movie.
yeah,
right?
for
when
sure.
When I watched this movie the first time, like I didn't really know what was going on. I just knew that I was going to see crazy action, crazy violence, and like naked girls' boobs for the first time.
And you got that.
And I got that.
Yeah, and
it
you were
was like,
so hard.
Right? Like, it just, to me, it just, I will neither confirm nor deny.
yeah.
But it's like, essentially, this is one of those movies, like it's an action movie. What's an action movie? You fight a bunch of people until you get to the boss.
Yeah.
And then you kill
You're
the
right.
boss.
You're right. There's just a lot of people to fight in this movie.
Yeah.
One-on-one.
One-on-one with cool powers.
Usually there's
and,
like 2 or 3.
No, man.
And some establishing plot in between.
Yeah, but like...
There's 8 fuckers he had to kill.
Yeah, but like the action scenes
in an hour and a half.
were the fucking best, man. They were revolutionary.
Yeah.
Everything after this...
Can I be honest with you, dude? I actually will disagree. I think the action scenes were kind of like lackluster.
Are you fucked?
There were a couple good ones, dude, but most of them were like one swipe dead.
Well, okay. That's the thing about samurais, man, and ninjas. You don't fuck around and just try to be all like.
But if you're gonna build,
shut up for a second. Shut up.
This is gonna be a 2-hour episode.
Yeah, shut up for a second.
Okay.
No, right? Like you get these moments, right? And they do it a lot. Like I remember Jay even saying when we were watching this, you know, where they make the cut and it's pause, and then you see things like get cut open.
Yeah.
Right? That's samurai. You don't have this crazy sword fight because your sword's going to actually break. That happens in real life.
Okay.
You're trying to kill somebody with as like the most efficient way.
I getcha. But they built up these 8 devils to be this like super scary, super strong, super powerful team, and they just crumble in front of Jubei. Like none of them can hold a candle to anything he can do.
Well,
None
that's because he's a fucking sword master.
I get that, but they have to give him some competition in order for him to be like believable. Otherwise, he's just Superman, who is also a bullshit character.
Dude,
Do you know what I mean?
Let's take the fight in the thing with the thing at the second one, right? Like he gets fucking pummeled.
Yeah, you're right. That was the only other one where anyone really lays a blow on him until the end. Right?
No, man. So, like, let's see here. He gets fucked up by the snake girl.
Kinda.
Right,
She,
like
she covers him in snakes. She doesn't hurt him.
Well, that girl could fuck him up.
She could, but she didn't.
Oh, it's
Right?
Anyways,
we're gonna move on because we're gonna cover each one of them. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
And you can get mad at me each time. Okay? I love it. So the next one is bees. There's bees everywhere. Everyone run from the bees.
Watch for wasps.
Watch for wasps.
This fucking reminded me of a scene from, do you remember Tommy Boy or Black Sheep with Chris Farley? Where they're driving the car and he's like, follow my lead because he's getting pulled over by the cops. And he gets out of the car, he's like, there's bees in the car. There's bees everywhere. I was dying, dude, laughing just from that scene in my head. Anyways, so there's fucking a dude with bees. And Kagero has random flower power with sleeping potion now. Another weird magic trick. And so I will tell you, dude, that at this moment, I had your voice ringing in my head loud, dude. It was just, accept it, accept it, accept it. In my head over and over and over and over again, dude. And I had to remind myself that in this world, people can do magic and they can do whatever they want.
Mikey, it's working.
Yeah, see?
It's working.
Soon he will be a full-blown weeb.
It didn't make me like it. It just made me feel stupid for typing that same thing out in my notes again. I was like, okay, we're magic trick again. Like, do you know what I mean? It's getting to the point where
these movies and anything that comes out of the 90s, even now, right? Like when you have a main character like this, that's like the prototype now, or like was the prototype, right? Like, these are power fantasies. This is my fucking ninja power fantasy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
flower power with sleeping potion.
I'm gonna fucking.
That's your power fantasy. I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not judging.
You're making me angry.
That's the goal. Okay. Let's take a second. Here, hold my hand.
I'm fucking sweating. No, I don't want to get your hand away
from me. Hold my hand for a second. Close your eyes. Let's take a moment to mourn the death of Quasimodo. Quasimodo.
Fuck you. Okay, you know what? He is my least favorite character,
dude.
But fuck you, dude.
He just cares for the bees, dude. He just cares for the bees. He's a lonely old conservationist, and the evil Jubei swipes him down into the water, and he's killed by his own wasps, who he loves so much.
Yeah, that was kind of obvious. As soon as I saw them go into the water, I was like, oh, that's how he's gonna actually die.
Yeah.
But but seeing that for the first time, right? Especially if you have like, what's that thing where people are scared of of those.
Oh yeah, there's a phobia. You're scared of little holes and things coming out of them.
Yeah, right. Like seeing that, like how terrifying is that?
Yeah.
Right. Are terrifying seeing the thing rape a woman, right? Like
Very terrifying.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
I will say that the bee thing is not very terrifying. If the other end of the scale is that scene from the beginning, the bee thing is kind of cute if you think about it in contrast of that.
Yeah, I mean, also you got to understand too. It's like you're not going to put the most intense scenes in the middle of a movie.
Yeah, you know what you're going to put in the middle of the movie?
I don't.
You're going to put a couple of devils who you could probably just written out. Like you didn't need that guy at all. You didn't need that guy at all.
Okay, fine. Fuck
Okay.
you. Let's move on. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm sweating here.
Okay, yeah, it's getting hot. It's getting heated. So, anyways, next we're gonna meet the bird lady again. Okay, who is a bird lady who uses gunpowder. She actually doesn't use magic.
Yeah,
she just blows shit up.
Yeah.
She just sews gunpowder into living things and blows them up.
I think she's a pretty cool character.
I don't know how many cool characters there are in this movie, in my opinion, to be honest with you. They all seem very silly to me.
No, I think she was a cool character as far as her powers and what she meant.
She has no powers, dude.
Her design is
She has no
pretty cool.
powers.
Yeah,
Design, okay, I'll give you. The design of all the devils were pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you.
So
That's a
even
big
like
thing for me.
Quasimodo.
Yeah. Huh?
You said.
Yeah,
I
actually,
would say he was
think-
one of the worst, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought he was the worst.
I like him a lot, actually.
Design-wise?
No, you're just saying that to try to piss me off.
Dude, he makes me laugh. And you'll learn that I like things that are funny. So to me,
Yeah,
it's like
that's
Excalibur
true.
all over again.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking think that was funny. To me, he's funny. Bird Lady, not funny. She just kind of sucks.
Excalibur.
Yeah. He's my favorite, dude. I love him.
Okay,
I'm going to dress as him for Halloween.
But here's the thing. So I think that her as a character and how they wrote her
Sure.
was weak.
Yeah.
I think she was the weakest one. But I
don't know about the weakest one, but she was weak.
Actually, she wasn't the weakest. I think the Quasimodo was the weakest.
Okay.
But she was needed to kind of put in those dynamics of like, you know, the fucking string guy being in love with Gamma and like
Again, I didn't even know that was a subplot, and so to me, she was very
they're
useless.
very subtle, which is also kind of cool because in the 90s you didn't get a lot of like representation in that way where they just kind of make mention of it and then they just move on.
Sure.
Right? Like there's nothing really like that.
It just felt like they tried to cram a lot into a movie that in the end was super simple. And so some of these subplots, like the like string dude in love with the zombie Frankenstein dude, they could have left that subplot out, and it would have been just as strong a movie because I didn't even know that was a thing. Do you know what I mean? To be honest with you. Anyways, moving on. So after the bird lady gets away, she blows up as like an armless zombie of Kagero's friend.
Yeah.
Right. And then she gets away, and then we meet the blind dude. Who was the most useless and unnecessary character in the whole movie. He just shows up. He's like, I've been waiting to fight you. They fight. He dies. And we move on to the next scene.
Okay. So with him, he's the classic. He's a trope. Like he's a pre-samurai trope. So there's always like the blind samurai. There's like movies of a blind samurai for ages, right?
Yeah.
So he was just a classic trope that they put in there.
I feel like that hindered the movie. I feel like if they didn't,
man,
it just didn't give anything to the movie at all. You know what it did give to the movie? That cool bamboo forest fight scene, which I think also is a trope. And again, I'm getting the vibe that this is a trend-setting movie. Maybe the first time you've seen that in an anime movie. Could be wrong. I don't know. But that bamboo forest fight scene is like cool every time you see it.
Yeah.
It's never not cool.
Yeah.
It sets up the scene for a fight scene perfectly.
Always.
Right?
Yeah. I love bamboo.
Yeah. He just sucked. Like, why couldn't they have fought?
Fucking eat bamboo shoots all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, in ramen?
Is that a thing?
So good. Yeah.
Nice. We should eat.
We should definitely eat ramen. Fucking no.
Anyways.
Naruto's.
I love ramen.
I fucking fiend ramen.
That got weird. Point being, that blind dude was the most omittable character of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Could have left him out completely.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so then we're gonna go move to the next guy because that's how this movie goes. You move to the next guy.
Yeah.
So now we're at the shadow robot guy who multiplies and controls people.
Yeah, so he's an interesting one, right?
Oh, interesting is the word you choose.
Well, I mean, other than the fact that he's fucking rapey and creepy and like,
yeah, there's that.
right? But like you were saying before, and we were talking about this off camera and off mic, like that whole moment set up that scene where it was that monochromatic.
Yeah, the sun is setting and everything's red and black.
Yeah. right? And like, but like again, it's that rape scene that happens, or the sexual assault scene, and with that red just sets the tone in a crazy way for everybody, right?
Sure.
Like you see that, you're just like, oh my god, something fucking crazy is about to happen.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Okay, I love that scene. The rape scene was a little unnecessary, but if I'm gonna write this movie, I'm gonna take out Quasimodo, I'm gonna take out Bird Lady, and I'm gonna take out Blind Dude, and I'm gonna give this guy a longer storyline. I'm gonna make you hate him in the long game, not just in a one quick gross scene and now we hate him.
Yeah, but just to defend the writers and the animators, they're trying to cram this movie as action-packed as possible.
Sure,
right?
but you can do that without, like, you could have given 2 or 3 showdowns with the shadow guy and he gets away for various reasons.
Yeah,
because
but
that also shows me that he can fight.
Yeah, but I like the
I didn't get that he can
variety
fight.
of seeing all these like crazy fuckers and all their crazy powers
Yeah.
fight this one dude.
It just diminishes the strength of his enemies if they're also easy to beat. And they have to be easy to beat if you're going to cram 8 of them into an hour-and-a-half movie.
Well, I mean, you could look at it that they're easy to beat, or you could look
Yeah.
at it that he's OP.
yeah, that's
and
also
people
true,
really
too.
like their hero being like just super overpowered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know.
power fantasies.
And
I
this is a
think-
movie. The whole motive behind this movie, it's more is more.
Yeah.
More is more is more is more.
It is,
of
you're
all
right.
things, and that includes number of enemies.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
number
I don't know.
of rape scenes.
You're right. That is the point of the movie.
I don't know about that. I'm okay with how many they put in already.
Yeah,
but
12-year-old you, on the other hand, is like, a couple more would be all right.
fuck you. You're
We're gonna have to put a disclaimer on this episode.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this isn't this.
The disclaimer is going to say, warning, Mikey is fucked up.
Trigger warning all over this episode.
Wait until
Yeah,
I make
that's
you
true.
watch fucking hentai.
Yeah. I'm going to chirp the shit out of you after that one, too.
I'm busy that week.
Okay, so let's move on because there's like still a shit ton more to talk about, or at least a little bit.
A little bit.
So,
we gotta close it off, dude.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
After this scene, Jubei and Kagero have their first amicable exchange.
Mm-hmm.
So they have this kind of like this relationship where they're kind of like butting heads constantly.
Yeah.
And he's being a dick to her, and she's being a hard ass to him, and that's kind of the way they go. But suddenly they have this amicable exchange where they're like kind of being real to each other for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he friend zones her hard. She's like, "Why did you save me?" And he's like, "You're my comrade. We've been fighting together and you're a great friend to me." And she's like, "All I want to do is fuck."
Yeah. Okay. First of all, friend zone stupid.
But that's what happened here, right? You can't deny that.
Yeah. First of, but here's the thing, right? Like she has already been through so much.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's from a trauma, like questioning her self-worth.
Yeah.
Right. Like he's just trying to be a good person.
Okay,
At
but-
the end of the day.
Okay, and I
Right?
agree.
And
It
there
was right. It was right of him.
There's no communication from her.
Yeah.
To be like, I am interested in you.
Yeah. Well, there is.
No, when? Other than the
No,
end,
you're right.
at
Well,
the end where
even
they're
there, she
yeah.
like literally gets naked in front of him and is like, "Take me."
Yeah, but that's just because she feels like she has a debt, even though internally she might be like, I'm in love with this guy,
Yeah.
but she has not communicated that with
True.
him. And he himself is like, I'm not going to take advantage of this girl because, she's already
And
been through so much.
I'll tell you, I 100% agree with you. That was a good move as far as Jubei.
Yeah.
Okay. But what's not a good move is if someone's a great friend to you and you care about them and you're telling them you care about them, then help them unpack their shit. Because she's
it's
fucking.
an hour and a half movie,
Again,
man. You can't,
dude,
you can't do that in an hour.
literally,
and a half.
she's the only friend he has, okay? And she's
Yeah.
like literally struggling, okay?
So
She's-
you're saying that Jubei, this fucking master swordsman ninja who fucks people's shit up,
Yeah.
you want him to also be a therapist?
No, dude, I want him to be, if he's going to say he's a friend, I want him to be a friend because that's going to make me like him even more. What didn't make
yeah.
me like him is when she literally exposes herself to him and is naked and her most vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
he just hugs her and walks away. Not a word. And
Okay.
leaves her standing there naked.
Could have been worse.
Could have been worse. And I agree. He didn't take advantage of her
Yeah.
by like having
Yeah.
sex with her. Do you know what I mean? And we know he's a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to be a good dude, help your friend.
Yeah,
I think another
but
call
by
on-
whose standards, right? Because again, you were looking at a timepiece where there's a hierarchy, there's a patriarchy in that culture.
Sure.
Right? Like they don't have the same communication skills that we
Fair.
have now. Like and to
Yeah.
put that kind of expectations of current life, like
Yeah.
and communications on a fictional story.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is I'm like starting to more and more like sympathize with Kagero's character, and it like hurt me. I was like, man, because she's like, again, her most vulnerable, her most exposed.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of she is literally just left there naked. And just to wallow in all that again.
It's a sad scene.
Yeah, it is a sad scene.
And and again, like, I guess I'm harping on it, but like he had an opportunity to like make a difference there, and he didn't. So, like,
but I think another big theme in this movie, and like even from the director, was the concept of like trickery among ninjas and deception among ninjas, and I do think even at this point, even after what they had been through, there is still a level of like distrust going on there.
Interesting.
And I really do think that Jubei may have been worried at that point that he was being deceived.
Really?
I do.
It could be. I didn't get that. I see what you're saying.
It is a big common theme throughout this whole movie is how deceptive ninjas can be from each other.
Interesting.
And you can see it even within their own ranks of the gang itself.
Yeah, they're the worst.
Deceiving each other constantly.
Murdering each other.
Yeah. Big theme.
Yeah.
All right, moving on from that.
Okay. Jubei's an asshole.
Jubei's an
Moving
on.
Anyways, okay, so then Kagero gets tricked by the fake chancellor, and she's fucking dead.
Yes.
Okay? And Jubei goes fucking beast mode.
Yeah.
Which was intense, dude.
Yeah.
There's that fight scene where he's taking out all the other ninjas, and it's like quick flashes and swipes, and they're all of a sudden they're spraying blood out, which I mentioned the title earlier today, but it gave me Samurai Jack vibes. Well, every Samurai Jack fight scene was like that. He swiping, and robots like and like oil's shooting out of them.
This is what I'm saying. This is the godfather of like samurai ninja sword fighting style.
Totally.
Like
and
animation.
That scene was short, but it's like that's an iconic beast mode fight style. You know what I mean? The swipe, and then the camera shifts and shows the ninjas, and they're all like spurt. It was cool, dude. I dug that scene. That was sick. Yeah. That was a sick one. So I should take back what I said earlier. Some of the fight scenes are really cool.
Yeah.
Just some of them are also not. Again, take out a few characters is what I'm saying. Take out the characters with weak fight scenes and weak powers, and you have a better movie.
I don't know, man.
Anyway, speaking of characters, now we're back on the string dude, who can also go invisible and teleport and has electricity power. Right? Yeah, and his string is like a telephone, but without the cans.
I like that little mechanic though.
It didn't bother me. It just was another thing that he can do. He can they can all do a million fucking magic tricks. Yeah. Anyways, here's what weird about that character. They built him up to be this like big second in command. Like he's the leader of the team until you meet the leader of the team.
Yeah.
Okay, but he also is shitty. Like what makes him the leader of the team?
Other than like
deception?
He was probably deception appointed there.
Yeah,
right?
I guess
it doesn't really get explained.
As a viewer of a movie, if you're going to build someone up to be a leader of a team, give me something out of him. Like for example, a good fight with Jubei.
Okay, but do you get like say if you're watching a military movie, right, and you have your second in command, you just know he's second in command because that's the title that he has.
I guess
and then you just accept it.
But this guy's also a ninja with magic powers, and he electrocutes people.
So, but what difference does it make if you have somebody that's in second in command in a military movie and a second in command in essentially a ninja military?
Yeah. You just don't expect a second in command in a military movie to like pick up a gun and go on the front lines necessarily. But in this kind of movie, like they have a head-to-head. It just is a shitty one.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? I mean, he does get his string around his neck and electrocute him, but then a rat explodes and he's dead.
Yeah.
Also, why is Jubei not dead? He was there too.
Yeah.
The whole building blew up.
Yeah.
In fact, they pan out and show you this massive explosion.
Yeah, I wondered the same thing.
And the string dude's dead, and Jubei's running down the street.
That one, I'm just
not even burned.
I'm just gonna say, just accept that one.
Oh, okay,
That's an accept
you know,
moment.
can I just point out that you didn't scream that one at me? You're just like, yeah, I just accept that one. Okay.
Yeah. That one's just
okay. Now we're gonna move on.
Okay.
Because I think I'm destroying you. Your heart and soul is being pummeled. And now we're gonna talk about the immortal zombie Frankenstein. So this guy is taking over the gold in the whole army. He's basically like was the leader of these 8, but now he's like, actually, psych, I'm gonna take over the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
These 2 warring families, they're nothing, and I'm in charge now, right? And then there's like a massive there's a showdown on a flaming ship because the bird lady is like covered in oil and explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's dead now too. So he's the only one left. Okay.
Yeah.
So flaming sinking ship, another good scene for a fight.
Yep.
Of which this movie has several.
Yes.
Alongside the several not so good ones. So
fuck you. They're all great.
and in this one, we have the boss battle, and Jubei's getting fucking destroyed, which was great.
Yeah.
Finally a battle where there's a back and forth. I appreciate that. And I know you're saying that this movie was not about giving me a lot of that, but like, again, a couple less characters, a couple better fights, you have a better movie. And then
again, back then you wanted power fantasies after power fantasy. It's like how, if we're gonna relate it to comic books, right? Like Superman
is the worst.
I agree, is the worst. In my opinion, okay, all you nerds who also watch anime,
I can get away because I'm not a nerd as much as you are.
Yeah, but,
you feel guilty when you say Superman's a nerd.
No. See, the only good. Okay, I'm not gonna fucking digress on that. Fuck. But like I'm saying, like Superman was a huge power fantasy when he first came out.
Yeah.
But he wasn't relatable.
Yeah.
Right.
I get what you're
so
saying.
now we have again ninjas coming out who are with hyper violence.
Yeah.
That's the first appearance of hyper violence through a ninja.
Yeah.
Is a power fantasy for a ninja. So it was relevant.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And it does make sense. And again, they gave it to me in the end. And that last fight scene was amazing, dude. Because this guy's immortal. So Jubei can keep like brutally fucking him up. He can keep landing like death blows. And then the fight can keep going on.
Yeah.
Which was cool. At one point, he slices him completely in half from belly to the top of his head. That was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And then he's wearing
Kagero's.
I keep wanting to call her Kagome. Because
Kagero.
Anyways, okay, so he's wearing her jewel and he's just pounding it into his head and his head's all flattened and then he comes back to life.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. That was one of those wow moments in this movie, right? When his head's reforming. That was a cool scene. In fact, when we all watched it a minute ago, all of us were laughing when that was happening. Like just laughing. Because it's absurd and amazing. And then there's like a river of molten gold starts flowing in.
Yeah.
Which my question was like, how hot does it have to be to melt gold?
Okay.
I thought the same thing, dude. How is this boat standing up to
Yeah, dude.
I knew that was gonna be a point that you were gonna bring up because you're fucking all into science and shit.
Just saying, dude.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't know how hot. It's got to be like crazy hot in there.
The boat
But,
was
like,
made of wood.
Yeah.
And it's on fire. Like it's
Molten
burning.
gold in it.
Yeah. Like
it's the fucking viscosity of that gold was like watery liquid.
Yeah. It was like a wave of gold, not
Yeah.
like a oozing. Like even
Yeah.
you look at lava, doesn't
Yeah.
flow like that.
Yeah,
You know what I
no.
mean? Anyways.
Yeah, I know that one. But
Fucking
it's
ridiculous.
like, I get it. It was. I think that one was
But
just for
also-
effect.
Yeah.
Kind of sick, right?
Yeah, hell,
Just
I would have liked if it made sense, but yeah, kind of sick.
Kind of
And then, so yeah, this guy's now covered in molten gold and he's like fallen to the bottom of the ocean. And that last thing that I was like, if you're going to call me a science mind, I was like, gold's kind of a malleable metal. So wouldn't this like super strong guy just be able to and come out of the gold?
No, not necessarily. Like, I mean, once that gold is fucking hardened, and he's
Yeah.
also the weight of that, he's sinking pretty fast.
Yeah.
Probably can't breathe either.
But he's super powered and immortal. So he's going to figure out a way.
not necessarily. I think that was the only way you could kill him.
Sure. Make it steel next time or something, though. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that amount of gold
Yeah.
is going to be fucking.
And I will point out when you say that's the only way they could kill him, actually, as much as I'm chirping the gold thing, was kind of cool because when they said I'm immortal, I'm like, okay, how are they going to find the loophole out of being immortal? Because this guy's got to die.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is there going to be like some weakness he has? You know what I mean? Maybe or something. And what I liked is that they actually didn't necessarily kill him. They just incapacitated him perpetually.
Yeah.
Which I was like, good way to take out someone who's immortal. Do you know what I mean?
Trap them.
Yeah, exactly.
them, yeah.
So that was kind of cool. And also, like you mentioned, there was a TV show. Does he come back in the show?
No. That's like way after.
Okay, because in my
after
mind,
this
I'm like, they
show.
wrote in a mechanism for a sequel or for him to come back because he's still alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're supposed to have a sequel.
Yeah.
There was a teaser, a little.
You don't want it
preview.
though. You don't want that.
I don't know. It's like yes, I do, but yes, I don't.
Not
Or
now.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't
Not
know.
now. If they did it then, maybe, but now I don't think it would be the same. It wouldn't come close.
And you know what though? If they did it now, it would just solely be to cash in on nostalgia.
Yeah,
That would be it.
sure.
Yeah.
Which is why you don't want that.
Sometimes I do though.
Yeah. So
Sometimes- yeah, like I love nostalgic things.
yeah, but would you watch it more than
Yeah.
once?
Sometimes I do.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do.
I don't know what that is, but it's funny.
Bobby
It's
Lee.
Bobby Lee from like Mad TV
Mad TV.
days.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But
we can bypass the whole conversation about characters because we talked about them all in depth.
Yeah.
what I
Okay.
mean?
Well, we've
Hold on,
definitely...
let's just get like absolute fave. I'm gonna guess Kagero.
Yeah, I like her a
Yeah.
lot, to be honest with you.
Is she your waifu?
No.
So is
I
the
don't
snake
feel
girl,
the need to have that.
the snake girl's your waifu?
No.
Why Jordy doesn't take one?
I don't feel the need to have that. Yeah. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, dude. I'm not marrying any of these characters. They're all fucked, man. They're all fucked, man. That's every show we've watched. Maybe the girl from Your Name.
Mitsuha.
Yeah. Now, granted, she's in high school, but she's a real human being.
Well, you mean like after high school when she's older?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But
Jordy,
like,
she was animated character. She's not a real human being.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay, but like,
So she,
I just want to make sure you know that.
oh, wait a minute. Wait, that's not real?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yo, wait until we fucking do the Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Yeah?
You're gonna have to pick a waifu. I'm gonna make you pick a waifu.
I don't know, dude. I probably
No,
am not going to want to
make
marry
sure-
any of them either.
I'm going to insist you don't actually right now. And in fact, I'll be in control of that.
Yeah.
So
Anyways,
Okay, anyway.
the other character I liked a lot too was Quasimodo. Just because the absurdity, dude. The fucking absurdity of that character was great. It was hilarious to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mikey, who's your faves?
My
Yeah.
fave, obviously, Kagero was a great. I think she had the most depth as
For
far
sure.
as far as character
So
goes.
most not necessarily relatable to me in my life experience, but like as far as like the experiences she went through were so real,
Yeah.
real life.
You know what? Honestly, like the three protagonists, like Kagero, Jubei, and fucking Drunk Monk.
The worst.
Dakwon.
Dakwon.
What a
Like,
dickhead.
dude,
You know, I wanted him to die in the end, to be honest with you. When Jubei like swiped his sword and got the gold from him, I was like, kind of wished he like took off an arm or something.
Yeah, but he's so.
and tossed him in the ocean.
I like how mischievous he is.
I don't know, dude. He just bothered me. He just rubbed me the wrong way. He was kind of creepy and slimy. He even said it himself. He's like, I'm just a snarky, slimy old bastard or something at the end there.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, you are.
You know that he's kind of like endearing at some points.
Not really, though.
Yo,
Never, not once. Was he?
not in the movie, but like I just feel like there'd be moments where if
You're just making shit up, dude.
I'm not.
Yeah, you're
that's
just
just how I feel about the character. Don't
Yeah.
tell me how I can feel.
I'm just saying that nothing.
Okay, fine. We've gone fucking long enough for this episode.
Yeah.
What's your overall rating for this thing?
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. That's
A
what I wrote
7?
down. That's what I wrote down. And I'll tell you why. Points were lost. The wackiness and the shittiness of some of the devils and the ways that
Okay.
they died. The rapiness was a turnoff
Yeah.
for me. Most of the characters, general like unlikability, right? And the like, even the plot being as simple as it was. I know that it's like that's the point of it, right? It's just like a simple ninja movie with like a goal in the end and a boss to fight.
Yeah.
But like I kind of like more. And then
Yeah, I think honestly, I feel like I might be just having this like nostalgic like attachment.
that's
to it.
your score's always going to be higher than mine because of that. Always.
All right. Well,
Why
I'm
it's
gonna
good to
give
split the difference, though, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
average it out. Average it out.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah.
This is honestly, I think this is the big bad three. Like
Sure.
Akira, Ghost in the Shell, Ninja Scroll. Those are like the OG big bad threes for me.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in my top 5 always.
Okay.
So I give it like an 8.5, maybe close to 9.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Fair
I
enough.
was expecting
8.5.
a bit more out of you around that one.
No,
I give it 7.5.
7.5.
7.5.
How come you don't yell at him?
Well,
Yeah.
I trust his opinion.
I just watched this for the first time. This is actually one that I don't have nostalgia for.
Okay. Yeah.
But like, I mean, 7.5, like that almost entirely goes to the art.
Yeah, I was gonna say the saving grace is
Yeah.
the art, some of
so
the dope
many
fight
points for
scenes.
that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Also, he's not trying to piss me off the whole time.
I am just. I am. I am.
Yeah,
trying to do
you
that.
are. You don't even deny it.
I'm trying to do that. Yeah, and I've done it.
All right. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening in wherever you get your podcasts or watching. If you're watching on YouTube, Jay, where can people find you?
Check out Hangar 91. I'm going to be doing some merch and stuff that's maybe going to kind of correlate with what we're covering here on the show. So
Sick.
if you like this shit, then you'll like my shit and check out the shit.
It's dope.
Yeah.
I'm wearing his hat right now. It's comfy.
How about you, Jordy? Where can people find you, my bud?
I'm reaching in on Instagram, and I post some shit there sometimes.
Hey.
Yeah, you guys can find me at Korean Barbecue 86 on Insta. Yeah, leave a comment below if you guys want us to, cover anything else.
Subscribe.
Yeah, all that good stuff. Listen to music while you're doing it. Mainly the sound of your fingers tapping on the keyboard.
Oh, we're back.
The sound of Mikey being furious because I've destroyed something he holds deep in his heart.
Yeah, and if you haven't watched this movie, go watch it. It's a must.
Be warned, though, it's fucked.
Trigger fucking warning.
Yeah, trigger warning, but what anime isn't?
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
See ya.